So why is it so hard to hire an attorney, and what can you do to make that process easier? Hiring an attorney, you might think, is like hiring any other business. If you want to, let's say, hire somebody to fix your roof, you call a roofing company, you say, I want to pay you money, they come fix your roof. Attorneys deal with clients a little bit differently. What happens is law firms are very selective about their cases, and here's why. If you hire somebody to fix your roof, they know they can fix your roof. They fix roofs for a living. They know that the end result is going to be a fixed roof. An attorney doesn't know if the end result is going to be a success for you. You can't hire an attorney and say, I want you to win my case, because they don't know if the case is going to be won. They don't know if your case is valid. They don't know if it's any good. They don't even know if you have a case. Even if you do have a case, you could still lose. You've seen many court cases in the news that you believed 100%, this person should be guilty, they get off. This person should be innocent, they get convicted. Lawsuits, this person should win, they lose. So attorneys don't like to work on cases that they feel like they're going to take your money, and at the end of that case, there's a chance that you're not going to win and you're going to be disappointed. They don't want to be in that position. They don't want to put you in that position. So they're very selective about what cases they take. And it's not about the money. They have plenty of cases they can take. There's plenty of money that they could take for a retainer and billable hours. So they have to select the cases that fit three criteria. First of all, it fits what's called their practice area. Practice area is the type of law they work on. So if an attorney is, let's say, a criminal defense attorney, they defend people that have been arrested. They're not going to take a case for a corporate law. Let's say they're a divorce family law attorney. They're not going to take a criminal case. Civil litigation that does lawsuits, they're not going to take maybe a bankruptcy case. So every attorney has practice areas. They don't necessarily have to have one. They can have 2 or 3 different practice areas. Many times law firms, companies that are larger that have more than one attorney, cover a wide array of practice areas. But your case has to fit into their practice area. And we'll talk about how to find an attorney that matches all of these 3 categories. Second of all, they want to make sure that your case, let's save that for last. Second of all, they want to make sure you as a client matches their type of client they like to work with. Some law firms like to work with corporate clients. Some like to work with consumers. Some are more selective on the type of vibe or personality of the client. One of the things that's very common for law firms to do is to filter out clients that seem like they're going to be very difficult to deal with. And what is their indicator, red flag? Is if the first time you talk to them or email them, you dump your whole case on them. If you send them an email that's 4 paragraphs long that describes your entire case, they're going to think like this person doesn't have really like the social skills to be able to deal with somebody. It's kind of like if you walked into a room with strangers that you didn't know and told your whole life story before you got to know them and before you got permission to have that conversation. So don't dump your whole case on them in the first conversation or even the second conversation. They also like to feel like you're letting them ask you the important questions. Not every detail you know about your case is going to be needed by that attorney, especially at the beginning. They're going to need certain information, but not every last detail. And if you spend 20, 30 minutes describing your whole case, you're wasting their time and yours talking about things that aren't important. And if you don't let them ask the important questions, they're going to feel like, you know what, it's going to be too hard to communicate with this client, so let's just pass. The third thing is what we talked about at the beginning. What is the chances, probability that you're going to win your case? Right? They want to work on winning cases, not losing cases. Now, there's no guarantee, obviously, you're going to win any case, but they want to see that the probability is there that A, you have a good case and what you're saying will prevail. Number 2, that even if you're in the right and you should prevail, that the reality of that case is that it's going to win because you have the evidence. And some cases can be won if you spend too much money on them to get evidence and expert witnesses, and they don't want to take a case that's going to cost more to win it than you would gain. So they're going to do some evaluation. It's not always going to be right, but they're going to do some quick evaluation because, like I said, they can't take every case, and they have to do a quick analysis of what cases they should be taking that will best help the client and also help them. Again, it's not always about the billable hours because they have plenty of hours to bill, plenty of clients out there. It's about making sure that it's a comfortable relationship for them. The case has a high probability of winning, and it's not going to be too overbearing on all the parties. So how do you circle back around? How do you find an attorney that's best suited for your case? The way we recommend doing it is starting with, of all things, you've heard us talk about it before, Google Maps. Go on Google Maps on your computer. Try not to do it on a phone because it's too small of a screen. You will be back in your video in just a few seconds. In the meantime, remember that actualhuman.com offers you live one-on-one private video consultation with an expert in this exact subject. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions. We want to give you expert advisement of your options and tell you what we know about your particular situation. Now back to your video. Your computer, and put a pin on your address where you live and zoom out about 20 or 30 miles depending on how big your town is. And then type in law firm. Now if you know what kind of case it is, like civil litigation, divorce, family law, criminal, you can put that in. Law firm, criminal defense, law firm, civil litigation. Hit enter, and you see all these little pins will pop up, little dots will pop up on your screen of law firms that Google thinks covers that type of case. And what you're going to do is you're going to select 14 of those law firms. 14 of those law firms. You're going to click on it. All you're going to do is get their website. Forget their phone number, forget their email, don't try to call them. Just copy their website into a spreadsheet, a document, write it down. I don't care what you do. Get 14 of them. 14 law firms. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to each one of those websites and first make sure they do actually cover that practice area. Because Google might think that they're a criminal defense attorney, but they might have it wrong. So look in their website at the very top of the menu, there will be a link that says practice areas, right? So click on that link that says practice areas and just make sure the kind of case you have matches their practice areas, right? And then of that 14, if you still have 14, go for it. If you need to replace them with a couple more from the map, make sure you have 14 that cover your practice area. Then what? Don't call them. Don't email them. Well, you can maybe email them, but don't call them or don't go in person. Type 4 sentences in an email, on a spreadsheet, in a note that you can cut and paste to send to all 14. What are those sentences? The sentences are, I have a case involving blank, no more than 4 words. A dispute with a neighbor. I have a case that involves a criminal arrest. I have a case that involves a lawsuit against a business. That's it. Don't say anything more about your case than 4 words. What is the best way to talk to you about this case? That's it. You're just asking for permission to talk to them about your case, and you're saying a little bit about it. The only thing saying more about your case can do is make them give a reason not to take it. If you only put a little bit, now they have to have some curiosity to talk to you more. If you tell them about your whole case, there might be one thing in there that says, we don't want this case. So don't say anything. Just say the basics of what kind it is. What's the best way to talk about this case with you? Send that same message to all 14. Now, we recommend not doing it by email. We recommend using on that law firm website, using their form. All websites now have a form for submitting a lead. Usually it says something like contact us or send us your information. Put your name, put your email, put your phone number, put those 4 sentences in the notes, comments, hit enter, and send it to all 14. And then sit back. And you might think, well, is 14 too many? Guess what? You're going to get back probably 6 replies out of 14. 6 replies out of 14. Why is that? Most law firms are too busy to take new cases. More than half of law firms can't even take another case right now if they wanted to because they're too busy. So that out of 14 takes away 7, right? That leaves you with like 6. One of them might see something in your email that says, we don't want this case. You're going to get back 6 answers. And they might say, we're not interested in the case. They might say, click here to schedule a consultation. They might say, call our office. They might say, come, set up a time to visit. Now you can go to the next step is to have that conversation. Of the 5 or 6 that you have a conversation, remember, still don't dump your whole case on them. the first thing you're going to say, whether it's an in-person meeting, a video call, a phone call, is to say, I have this case that has to do with this. What information do you need from me? Let them ask you for the information. Don't volunteer more than what they want to know. They're only going to need to know a few pertinent things to help you. If you tell them more than those things, you're going to turn them off and they're not going to want to talk to you. Of those 5 or 6 you talk to, there might be 2 that says, yeah, this is the kind of case we want. Here's our retainer, here's how it works, and then you can make your decision. So 14 contacts, 6 replies, 1 or 2 options, and that's how you hire an attorney. It's a annoying, complex process. You would think it'd be easier, like if you want to buy a car, you walk into the dealership, I want to buy that car, here's my money, and you buy the car. Lawyers aren't like that because of the nature of what they do. There's no guarantee that what they're going to provide for you is going to be the results you want. And because of that, they're very selective and cautious about making sure that they're doing the right thing for the clients, doing the right thing for their firm. So that's a very good way to hire an attorney. We deal with thousands of attorneys every year. We do a lot of work for attorneys as investigators, as insurance agents, as consultants. So we know their inner workings. We also hire attorneys for different projects every year. And when we hire them, we do the same thing. Unless it's an attorney in the area where we've used them before, when we need to hire an attorney in a new area, that's exactly how we do it. It's very successful. If you do have more questions about how to hire an attorney, how to best present your case to an attorney, you can click the link below. We have more information. You can also schedule a consultation with one of our certified licensed agents to talk to you more about working with attorneys. And that'll get you a good head start to make sure your case is handled by a professional expert that can get you close to the results that you might be looking for. Thank you for watching another episode of Actual Human Advisory on Describe TV. Remember, we have live one-on-one consultation appointments available at actualhuman.com, where you can book a one-on-one undivided attention live call with a licensed investigator, a licensed insurance broker, a licensed mortgage broker, real estate broker. I'm also a certified real estate title examiner, a certified civil court mediator, along with having developed and started over 15 businesses, several of which were sold for millions of dollars. So if you do have questions in any of those categories, you can arrange a one-on-one live video consultation. Use the link below, and we'll see you on the next video.